Use it. Stay in touch. Your friends of today will help you celebrate in life's successes and will help you conquer the challenges you will face in the future. I am very fortunate to say that since leaving high school, I have made many friends in college, in the workplace, neighborhood, and from community activities. But if you were to ask me who are the most important people in my life outside of my family, I would say the 6 guys that I graduated high school with that I will be with this coming Friday night. Second, be there when people need you. I hope that if you stay in Milford community, or if you move to a new community, you explore and connect with the community, no matter how different it may be from Milford. Seek out the richness that a community can provide and understand that being part of a community is an active pursuit and not a passive endeavor. Contribute to the world around you to help shape where you live. Make your community better by reaching out to the people who need you, whether they are friends or strangers. Vote in local elections, volunteer, and educate yourselves about community issues. I know that many of you have been active in our community. Continue your involvement here or in another community. John F. Kennedy said in a speech to the Massachusetts State Legislature, "For of those to whom much is given, much is required." Your education has given you much. Use this and the other great advantages you have to better your community and the lives of those around you. Third and final thought, commit yourself to constant improvement. Do you remember the first Nintendo set you owned? Now compare it to what is available today. Significant differences in a very short period of time. With the constant developments in technology, which many of you in time will influence, if Nintendo had not improved its product, it would have been out of business today. The same applies to all of us. We must continue to improve our weaknesses and even our strengths. We live in a world that is constantly challenging, and we must be ready to change with it. An author once wrote, "I can't change the direction of the wind, but I can adjust my sails." Adjust to the environment around you. Evaluate your strengths and weaknesses frequently and work on improving them. In closing, remember to stay in touch with friends. Be involved in your community. Recognize your environment and change accordingly. Those of us here today will be watching you and wishing you a life of love, joy, laughter, and success. We're very proud of you. Congratulations, Milford High School class of 2004. Thank you.
Graduation day gives us an opportunity to reflect on our wealth. We are rich in community. We are rich in family. And we are also rich in organization. My message will forever remain the same to graduating seniors as you participate in different organizations, as you proceed to higher education. You will find that you are only as good as your assistants and your team. I am rich in team. At this time, I'd like to acknowledge all members of our team and ask them to stand. Administration, school committee, faculty, please stand and be recognized. Thank you. Four years ago, you entered Milford High School as a generation of young people who would kick off a new century in American public school education. You and your peers nationwide have now earned the notoriety of becoming the first class of high school graduates of the new millennium. Throughout your high school years, there have been significant changes in American culture and throughout the world. Changes in technology, the economy, and sociocultural practices especially have forced you to become better educated, better prepared, and sensitive to the issues which compromise and threaten our civilization. Hopefully, your education to this point has taught you that our once abundant natural resources like food, fuel, fresh water, and building materials are being consumed at a rate that leaves us no choice but to change our lifestyles before we experience a serious crisis. I would hope that the preservation of world peace is a responsibility that you will willingly accept and understand it can no longer be deferred to those special interest groups that remain in the minority. You can make a difference both as individuals and a generation of young people who use their education to help restore the core values which once identified the American family in our society as humane, tolerant, giving, and unified. Finally, my hope is that you come to the realization that it's not important what you become or what you choose to do in your life's work, as long as you are happy doing what you do, and that in some way it has a healthy, positive impact on the lives of others. That being said, I wish you the very best for a future that brings you into peace, satisfaction in your work, an abundance of loving relationships, and the good health needed to nurture those relationships. Thank you. This time, Mr. Jose Costa will assist in handing out the diplomas, the moment we've all been waiting for. Christine Laura Wynn. Kyle Alexander Willingham. Brian Richard Whalen. And Gina Yanel Washington. James Peter Vignoni. Karina Muris Verissimo. Erica Marie Verkreis. Sean Randall Van Seth. Rui Domingos Valenca. Justin Rundle Trudell. Mohammed Abed Torres. Allison Jean Tim. Rebecca Lee Terrell. Abigail Lee Taylor. Althea Rose Sutton. Kevin Edmund Sullivan. Stephen Carl Sturrock. Nicole Kathleen Straponi. Caitlin Elise Stickney. Brina Andrade Starling. Richard Spencer Jr. Peter Ralph Solomon. Bernadette Teresa Smith. Sherry Lee Scarupa. Jason Gomes Silva. Joanna Stevenson Seidman. David Francis Shinnick. Tyler Patrick Shuby. Christopher John Senti. Dahlia Marie Sanchez. Kristen Jean Ryan. Alex David Ruddick. Stephanie Elise Rowland. Sheila Marie Rooney. Erin Ray Robitaille. Richard Edward Robidoux. Matthew John Rizzoli. Catherine Lynn Rizzoli. Zoe Marlene Rivera. Sean Patrick Renault. Christopher